Do we really want to start with this? So, how many of you guys have been following the Wurm forums?
Oh yes.
This past week.
Yeah.
Who's an avid Wurm Online forum follower? And there's been a little bit of a subject going around about priests and how. Now, I'm not a priest. I don't claim to be a priest, and you'll never say that I'm I know what I'm talking about when priest comes into question. I know that I'm a follower of Venora, and that's pretty much it.
So we got a lot of people
Deathwind,
saying
you haven't been on the forums for years.
Avoid the forums.
Hack it. Check them once a day. So maybe you saw this news that we're about to talk about. Willow saying, "Shh, we don't talk about the forums here. It's a forbidden subject." Okay, so I'll stop talking about the forums and start talking about the topics.
Last couple patches.
How about the last couple patches? Anybody notice the patch notes in the last few days? And
I'm definitely guilty. I'm definitely guilty of reading the forums like religiously.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a topic that came up. There you go, Nigel. Priest linking. So, something about priest linking, yeah, Deathwind. So apparently they changed the way priest linking works. Oh, and hey, Mox. And people didn't like it. And so they fixed the way priest linking works.
And
A day later.
Wurm, how's it going? Welcome. Oh, look, a squirrel.
Oh, look. And while Willow goes after the squirrel, we can safely talk about this subject. That's as much as I know. I mean, literally, that something changed. Linking.
There must be
priests,
something that you know.
Bad. And then next day, we put in a fix, and it's like, less bad. What was that all about?
Yeah. This is one of those things that tends to. I don't know why Wurm attracts these sorts of issues, but they just do.
You're building a wall, right? No, sorry.
A window.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
I think it should be good. I'm just
window.
putting in the beams. Yeah. Like, I was watching these patch notes go by and looking at the discussion, and I was just thinking to myself, like, all these new players, there's like all these new people out there who probably have no idea what's going on. Like, just completely like looked at it, priest, like, forget it. I don't even know what that is. Yet all the veterans just jumped up. Like, this is just one of those moments in Wurm that
you did this before.
Seem to happen all the time. What?
No, not priests? That you complain, but that you've linked priests, so you understand what that means.
Okay, so let's start with what it means to link priests, like just the regular mechanic of it. So a priest can have as much favor as their faith skill. Like, that's the maximum amount of favor that you can have. So if you have 70 faith, then that's basically the maximum amount of favor that you can have. And you can think of favor like mana. It's like how much spell stuff gets used up. It's like your resource for spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, linking with another priest allows a priest to share the favor pool between the two. So let's say I have 70 faith and you have 70 faith and you link with me. Now I can cast with 140 favor.
Do they just pull them together? Like,
pool it together. So if we both get our favor all the way up to our maximum, then we basically I will have access to all of the favor you have plus all the favor that I have. And if I cast a spell that uses 10 favor, it'll actually come from your favor pool first, and I can just keep casting over and over again, and your favor pool runs out, and then it starts using my favor pool, and yours will start regenerating, and all the while both of ours is regenerating.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like the normal way that faith linking works. Now the reason why linking is put into the game was because way back in the day there were certain spells that took more than 100 favor to cast. Like life transfer took 120 favor. There's all the rites that take 300 favor to cast, and so it required priests to link up in order to actually cast these things. They changed that recently so that I think life transfer only takes, I want to say 90. Is it 90 favor to cast or something like that? Like they changed.
Did they reduce all of those? Like there's no ability, like reason to link. Is that what you're saying?
Right. So they changed
reason,
it. So that
and
they removed.
If I can interrupt you, I didn't want to interrupt Adam, but
go ahead.
Thank you, J Popper Wurm, for the sub, for the prime sub.
Thanks for the.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt Adam because he's just going to keep going. And
yeah, I didn't notice that. Sorry.
Thanks so much for the follow, Khrushcheva. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. So thank you so much.
And is it?
Yeah. So
it
LT takes 100 favor.
You learned that you can subscribe with Prime. Oh, is that that's kind of cool. Okay, so LT takes 100 favor, so you need to have 100 favor priest. So most people who don't have a 100 favor priest will still need to link in order to cast life transfer until you get to that 100.
Thank you for the follow.
Okay, so in right
Leche or Leche? Lechi.
Oh, Leche.
Leche. Anyway.
Okay, so let's keep going. There's still a need for linking for some of these spells, but what people found out was that you can link a whole bunch of priests together. So like, I think that the mechanism was supposed to be that you can link up to a maximum of whatever your channeling skill is, divided by 10 plus 1. So if your channeling skill was 70, let's say, divide that by 10, that gives you 7. Plus 1 gives you 8, which tells you that you can have a maximum of 8 priests linked to you, and you can have access to all of their favor pool. Now, I don't know, it wasn't so clear amongst the discussion and the patch notes, but it sounded like there was a bug that allowed people to go beyond that number. So people were like linking 12 and potentially even more people together.
Oh, so here's Raybark.
Yep.
The actual bug is that they collapsed. The channeling system is the +8 difficulty per link, allowing low difficulty spells to still be viable to gain channeling. It wasn't so much about the infinite favor.
Okay, and that makes perfect sense. So, for example, Opulence, which is a 10 difficulty cast, which normally a high channeling priest would cast it and get no skill just because it was such an easy cast to spell. Just to do. What people would do is they would just link a whole bunch of people together, and what this did was increase the difficulty. You get +8 difficulty per link. So something that was a 10 difficulty cast, now all of a sudden, if you have 10 people linking with you, becomes a 90 difficulty cast, and therefore it puts it in that range where you'll start getting skill from it. And not only are you getting skill from it, you could literally cast it over and over again forever without stopping, simply because those 10 alts are all gaining favor over time, enough that you can cast 10 every, 10 seconds or something like that.
This is something that's just been in the game, like, forever.
Yeah, totally. Been in the game forever.
And Perry Hellion, an hour and a half, and I didn't even know you guys were streaming. Shame on me. Oh, that's okay.
Perry,
it's only been an hour and a half. So I heard, Perry Hellion, you were talking to me today, and you said that you are close to us. You started a new character, you came to Melody, and
cool.
Did you join a deed, or did you plant a deed if I had to go by where I am now, it's that way, somewhere beyond this area. Am I right?
Okay.
Something like that, to the north.
To the north. I didn't know there were still spots over there. Oh, you joined Mystery Link.
Oh, okay, yeah, we know what that is. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, J-Popper, you're on the same
Cool.
deed. So
Awesome.
yeah, so that is that direction to where we are. Yeah, so at this point is like it was known people could do it. It's one of those long-standing things.
This was known, but not like there were like this is one of those things where in Wurm, like people who figure these sorts of things out like to keep it quiet, so they don't want to let anybody know. That way they get the advantage of using it and everybody else doesn't. Like this is something I never knew until this patch note happened. The way I leveled my channeling all the way into the 90s was just I just regularly did my casting. You know, it worked for me.
You would do sermons and stuff.
No, that's faith.
Oh, that's faith.
We're talking channeling.
Oh,
which
channeling.
Is the
yeah, you would just
more
do the normal.
important.
You did like
I like the vessel method.
the vessel.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty.
you
good
bought a lot of
skill.
gems.
There was that one time I bought a lot of gems, but since then I've been just using the gems I make and create. And oh, look, we finished the walls.
We did it.
Okay,
Walls.
I'm gonna bring the other materials.
Step 1. All right, awesome.
Okay, so let's talk about what they did then, because
That's what
I
they
think
did.
it wasn't. No, it wasn't really an issue on the old servers, but why it became an issue was that people started doing this on the new servers, and they were getting their channeling up really high, really fast. Like I heard some people were getting their channeling into the 70s using this method within the first week or so, or maybe 2 weeks or something like that. Anyway, so that became an issue for the devs. The devs did not want this many people getting their channeling up so fast, and then they would just dominate the market. So
it was essentially
they did
game breaking.
It was game breaking. I mean, I felt it kind of game breaking a little bit too. Personally, I don't want to see massive casts happening right off the bat, creating this imbalance of people. Like, have you seen how much people are paying for 80 level casts, 70 casts? It's absolutely insane.
So is it the fact that that people did this? Is it the fact that they got rid of that capability and then did not reduce or somehow balance the game out by reducing those people's, giving them compensation and then reducing them and basically saying, hey, we know you want to be up there, but in the long term, this is not healthy for the game, and you're essentially just going to you're gonna have fun now, and then later, like, who knows what the